who are the favorites to win the Champions League. Let's rank them. We have 8 teams left now. The quarterfinalists are set. And it's safe to say that there are teams here that we probably didn't expect to be in this position. So we have Manchester City, Chelsea, Real Madrid, Napoli, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, AC Milan, and Benfica. So a real mixture of teams there. Nick, I'm going to come to you first. What are your sort of takeaways, and do you have a clear favorite right now to win this tournament?
I don't have a clear favorite. I have a clear favorite to not win this tournament, and there's only one of the group. I can tell you right now, I would be really surprised if Benfica won the tournament, but I can literally make a case for every other team. And I think I was texting with you guys maybe in our WhatsApp group. I actually, for some reason, much like Andy a couple of years ago, I'm seeing Chelsea maybe doing some things. So there's even the team that I think shouldn't get anything done. I'm looking at their reputation and what they think of the tournament, and everybody here can do some damage. And there's that sort of trifecta of Italian wonder where they're almost playing to script. They're not giving up XG, and they're converting all their chances. And any one of those 3 teams seems fun. Not really fun to watch, but fun as a dark horse. So, guys, I'm going to throw it right back to you. Is there anybody that looks to you like they are the favorite?
Andy, I probably would go with Manchester City right now, given the Erling Haaland factor. But then the nous of Real Madrid winning it once again, just something about the way they dismantle Liverpool means they can blow teams away. But then I'm looking at Bayern as well, and they're kind of juggernauts. So there's probably one team I've left out that I think you might mention, but there are. I can't really make a case against any of those teams I mentioned not winning this because it's so close. So, Andy, take it away.
It's a very strange Champions League this season because we lost a lot of the giants either in the group stage or the round of 16, the teams that you would kind of reliably pick and say, well, they've got this superstar, and this superstar. Doesn't really exist right now. And so, not to make this about me in any way, but it does feel like this is going to be the season. Manchester City does it. It cost them the Premier League title. And then I have to spend all summer and all of next season hearing about Arsenal as Premier League champ. It feels like that's kind of where we're heading at this point, because what City did in that second leg against Leipzig, and I know it was Leipzig, but Haaland takes them to another level, obviously. But the way that they have kind of figured out how to control games, and it was very clever from Pep what he did in that game. The fullbacks, as they have done a lot in possession, tucked into the central midfield, but they did it out of possession this time, and it completely strangled everything that Leipzig wanted to do. And that's just a little bit of a tactical tweak that gave them complete control, and the ball almost never left Leipzig's half of the field. And obviously then Haaland goes on and scores 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 in under an hour in that game. And it showed the ruthlessness that we've been kind of asking, well, where is that in the Premier League this season? Where was that at some points in the Champions League as well? And so if he's in that kind of form and they have figured out a way to balance the team, because that's been the issue this season, adding him into the team without not playing with a false 9 anymore, they're a little bit imbalanced out of possession, and especially in transition. But if Pep is going to tuck the fullbacks into central midfield, give them 2 more bodies in there, and he's got a Kanji and Diaz who can cover all of that space in behind, it feels like that's a formula that works. Now, if they come up against Real Madrid in the quarterfinals or the semifinals and they have to take them down over 2 legs, that makes it a little bit trickier. So I think I would say City 1, Real Madrid 2, probably Bayern 3 at this point.
And the other team I thought you might mention, and I know Nick's probably going to mention now, is Napoli. The way that they're playing and the way they've ripped up Serie A this season. Yeah. They're fun to watch, Nick, but they're not giving away a lot of chances as well. They hammered Eintracht Frankfurt in the last 16, were brilliant in the group stages. Do you think that they really are they dark horses, or are they more than that now, given the consistency of their performances this season? Because with Osimhen up top there, they have a prolific goal scorer, a focal point, but they have so many great other pieces in midfield and attack as well, don't they? So I almost feel like if you're any of the teams left in this competition, you really don't want to play Napoli next.
It's kind of strange because obviously there have been manager changes over the years, but I think Napoli has kind of cultivated a reputation, a culture that they're going to be fun and electric and solid. And that's a really good reputation to have.
They're the Croatia of this year's Champions League, right?
Yeah, sure. I like that.
Sure.
I do like that quite a bit, except they have this kind of absolute wild card, as Joe mentions up top, a guy who everybody else wants, who's found his footing in Serie A as well as the UEFA Champions League. And yeah, I mean, I think they can beat anyone. I think it's really important to note, though, I feel like I should be a human disclaimer every time we get to this point in the Champions League season, that anything really can happen over two legs. Like, remember a few years ago, I was reading about the other day, how Lyon frustrated Man City. I'm like, yeah, and Man City still goes through if Raheem Sterling doesn't miss from 4 yards out. Like, anything can happen. The margins are so thin. And that's why a team like Man City against Crystal Palace can only score 1 goal, even though they have myriad chances. And then everything goes in for them against Leipzig. And it brings to mind with Napoli, with Man City, with Bayern, and to a certain extent with Real Madrid, these are clubs that are designed to perform in a system over 90 minutes, and that hopefully they convert their chances. And it goes back to Pep Guardiola after every game they lose saying, I think we did everything we wanted. We had 20 more chances than them. We made a mistake. This is why this is great. Coincidentally, on March Madness weekend, right? Everybody here has merit. There is a favorite in every game, but anything could happen.
It really is. It really is. It's a great shout. And I think when you look at Inter and AC Milan and maybe even Benfica as well, they have that in them to cause a bit of a shock and be difficult to play against. And the great thing about all the teams remaining in the Champions League for me is there's attacking stars at every single team you look at. And there are ways that they can play in this tournament, this two-legged ties that we have, where they can really control the game, but they have the players when they want to go and win it to try and win it. And I think that's the most exciting thing for us that we've seen throughout this Champions League. Andy, when we focus on the two Premier League teams, Man City and Chelsea, Nick mentioned it, maybe Chelsea, this could be another great run for them, considering their struggles in the Premier League this season. I mean, how far do you think both of those teams can go? Is it legit that Chelsea can challenge, and are Man City the favourites?
I don't buy into the Chelsea thing this season. I've watched them too many times in the Premier League, and I know they got through Dortmund in the round of 16, but it just feels like I don't know what their style is now that I come to think about it, because obviously they have a ton of possession under Graham Potter and they create some decent chances. But are we relying on Kai Havertz to consistently put the ball in the back of the net? Because I think if that's the case, then you're going to be disappointed at some point. To ask him to do that over 2 games, okay. And then you add 2 more and make it 4, and then 6 to go into the semifinals, and then a 7th game in a final. That's a lot of games to not have a reliable finisher of chances up top. And you kind of look at all the other teams that are still left in the competition, and they have one of those. They have someone who, in a big moment with a big chance, you feel comfortable saying, if my life is on the line, I'll let you have a scoring chance, and I think that you will save me. If that's Kai Havertz, I feel worst of any team left in this competition.
Although he has done it. I mean, he's done it in a final for Chelsea.
Yeah, sure, but that is a singular moment, though. That's
sure.
Not
I'm just saying
round to round doing it, and that's been the issue for them in the league this season. That's been the issue for them in the cup competitions and the Champions League. So yeah, to me, it comes back to City, and it's about Haaland, and it's about, to Joe's point, the system in place and the team knowing exactly how they want to play, because they've been playing that way for a while, having made some tweaks to the system with the new superstar striker coming in this year.
Quickly, one team, who's going to win it? Nick, go.
Real Madrid.
Andy?
I picked the winner 2 years in a row, so I feel a lot of pressure here to make it 3. A hat trick. I'm going to go City. I think this is the year, finally.
I'm going to go City as well because of Erling hat trick, because he just seems to just dominate, and I think he is the X factor. And that's the reason, right? He said himself after that win against Leipzig, City brought me to win the Champions League, and I think he's going to deliver it. So head over to Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com for all the latest news, analysis, how to watch information, and reaction around all these Champions League quarterfinals. Cannot wait for this in the springtime to really take center stage as these European giants square off across Europe. And my word, cannot wait for some of these ties to really capture our imagination, because there's some brilliant teams out there, some teams we didn't expect and haven't seen at this stage of the competition for quite some time. So that just gives it a lovely, fresh feel to it. So Champions League, it's going to be a good one between now and the final in Istanbul.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.